Joined by the lovely Mr. Mark Radcliffe. Mark, good morning. Thank you for coming all the way down from... Where did you actually start your journey this morning?
I started it from about 15 minutes south of Manchester Airport at about 5:45.
It's 5:45 in the morning. Wow.
I know. And I've been doing late nights all week, so it's the opposite end of the day, really.
Well, we thank you for being here, but there is an air of desperation coming off you. If you're prepared to get up that early and come down.
Well, I thought it was an air of desperation off your show, booking me.
Well, if you've listened to the show so far this morning, we're very glad to have you, though, because we need to be bailed out.
I enjoyed your opening jingle, actually. I thought, because I've got one of those, you see, and I understand what you were saying about it, but when I got one of those, I felt like I'd become a proper DJ. After 20 years, I've arrived, because I've got one of those sung jingles.
What did you used to have on Radio 1, then?
So long ago, I can barely remember. I've not been working for 2 months.
It passes from your memory.
You know, we had something deeply ironic, and I think that this is kind of, you know... It's the great thing. Your name sounds all right, though. My name and Stuart McConey's, they slightly mispronounce in Los Angeles where they do these things.
They do send them... They farm them out, don't they?
Yeah, they're done in Los Angeles.
Why would they do that?
Well, I don't know. There must be no one in England who can sing like that, and I think that that's to this country's credit.
I have a great idea now. Let's launch a show, Jingle Idol.
Right.
OK, we'll just get some people in a shed somewhere, and we'll just see if they can come up with worthwhile jingles. You, me, Dr. Foxy Fox can sit on the panel. He'll do it. We know that.
Right, yeah.
Is there a show he won't do, do you think? I'm just curious.
Well, he seems to be on most things, doesn't he? So,
there was a show he was on last night on ITV called No Talent Required. Did you see that?
Yeah. No, I didn't watch it.
Why would you want to put your name after that particular title? No Talent Required, Neil Fox. You would think maybe your agent would have a word.
Hard to understand, isn't it? There's no jacket required, Phil Collins, but I still remember very fondly Frank Sidebottom. Do you know him? No trousers required.
Yes.
Is a seminal
Is
word,
Frank Sidebottom still working, still producing?
Occasionally, yeah. I mean, one of the great lost comic geniuses of this country, I think, Frank Sidebottom.
I don't know. I think he was maybe not quite as great as you make it out, but he was,
I knew
he was
it.
interesting.
Some of the ideas he had, but anyway, nobody knows Frank Sidebottom. I must say I'm thrilled because I came here this morning, I was asked for my autograph 3 times on the way. Do you have autographed people outside? Bobby Crush was there, and I think I just sort of slept up a bit of his residue.
Bobby Crush was here this morning?
Bobby Crush is here now.
Hang on a second.
You could probably get him on. I don't know where he went to.
Mark, we might have to cut this interview short. See if we can get Bobby in.
Bobby Crush is in the building.
Bobby Crush.
Yeah.
Do you remember there was another flamboyant pianist of that period who won Opportunity Knocks called Wayne King? Do you remember him?
No.
And once there was actually a link where Huey Green said, "And now, Wayne King on the piano." Actually happened.
Well, the only one I remember is Liberace, who was, you know the story, you know about Liberace and his sort of failing libido and how he got round this in his later years.
Can I just check, was he gay?
Well, I think probably. Don't you?
So he's failing libido in his later years.
Yeah, but he wanted to stay sexually active, which is, you know, in itself no bad thing.
Don't we all?
And the story, as I heard, it was that he had a metal rod, a steel rod, not unlike this microphone stand, although possibly a bit shorter, inserted somewhere to enable him to continue his favourite pastime. He had, I think, the world's first cantilever penis.
Oh,
Liberace.
Oh my lord. Okay. Any news on that Bobby Crush call? Mark, how are you finding it at Radio 2? Are you finding it? Are you comfortable here yet? I mean, I'm assuming essentially the job's the same.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm doing it on my own. I used to do a show with Mark Riley.
This is Mr. Lard.
Mr. Lard, yeah, Mark Riley. He was on 6 Music this afternoon. Give him a plug. So, you know, obviously nothing lasts forever, does it? We decided to go our separate ways, or it was kind of decided for us a bit, really, but, you know.
So who made the call? What happened there?
What, about us not working together?
Did someone phone you, or did you both have a little meeting?
We'd talking for a while about what we were going to do, because you can't do the same thing forever, can you? And then but you know, it would have been difficult for one of us to say, "I don't want to work with you anymore." But that decision was taken away from us, really, and that's the best thing, really. And he's happy doing what he's doing, and you know, I'm trying to get to grips with doing what I'm doing. I've only been on a week, so yeah, it's been good.
So you didn't have a word with someone and say, "Look, I want to end this, but I don't want to be the one to do it."
No, I mean, you know, there was me and Mark had a row, but that was over off-air issues. We had a chinchilla farm, and it was just over breeding rights. It was like Alex Ferguson and JP McManus and Magnum and all that.
Over the horse.
Yeah, over our prize bull.
If I was, for example, was with someone I maybe was thinking of moving on from, didn't want to have that messy conversation, how would I go about that?
Well, you have to go to the glass-panelled office with the upper echelons and tell them to break the news.
Yeah. I'm waiting for that call.
Well, it wasn't you. It has to be about you.
What?
You immediately.
So when you said it and you turned your head and looked at me,
just to make sure you didn't feel excluded from the conversation.
But mind you, who's going to put your records on if he's not it?
Yeah.
You see, this is the illusion shattered. I thought you were here slamming all your own tunes in with great enthusiasm, and you're just lounging about, sort of like Douglas Fairbanks in a... Is that Prince of Wales check? That?
I don't like to break a sweat, ideally, and that might mean lifting something heavy during the day, and I maintain that any day in which one doesn't have to lift anything heavier than oneself is a day well spent.
Well, last night before I went to bed, I was unloading sand into a new sandpit, and that was heavy. 20 bags I put in this.
Yeah, but you see, that's not proper labour because you're doing that for your no doubt spoiled children. In the same way that I would do it for my no doubt spoiled children. Real labour would be when you have to do that because you've got to build something.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I can't build
That's
things
a bad
anyway.
day.
Yeah, but I still got a bad back off it. Huh?
If you're lifting something upstairs for someone else, that's a bad day.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's lots of removal men listening now who might disagree with us.
That's a horrible job, isn't it? I'm always amazed that people will do that for less than it just seems like for all the removal men when we moved house, and they're always little wiry guys, aren't they? You think they're going to be big muscle bound guys?
I used to do a bit of it.
Did you?
Yeah, there were certain perks involved in moving offices at the weekend.
Right.
I had so much Tipex at home, you just couldn't move for the stuff. But you and I are just still friends, of course.
Yeah, of course we are. Yeah. And we still go to Man City, and we haven't fallen out. It's a rather dull story, really. You're talking about this, and you kind of get the impression that people rather wish we had.
Yeah.
Because it's more of a story, isn't it? Really.
You might want to create that myth then.
Well, yeah, but we'd even do one of these football videos together for Christmas. I don't know what it's called.
These ones are football's greatest bloopers.
All that sort of stuff. We're doing one of those. This one's because when women are doing Christmas shopping and no one knows what to buy blokes, they think that's all right. Football, that'll be okay. They'll watch it once, and I guess people do. So.
I'm very proud to say no one has ever bought me a football bloopers video.
Well,
are you excited about this Euro thing going on right now?
I am. Are you a football man? I don't know.
Not particularly. I'm kind of hoping that we can keep the show more or less a football-free zone.
Football-free zone.
Just so there's some place people can go to. You know what I mean? There's some place you can go to where you're fairly safe from it.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I'm happy for people to enjoy it. I will enjoy it if we do quite well.
I suspect we'll do quite well. I don't know. I've got us down for a draw tomorrow.
Yeah, so have I.
I think a 1-1.
So we're playing them all.
I think 1-1 as well. I said that earlier, yeah.
Although I've never predicted a football match result correctly in my life.
Who are we playing tomorrow?
We're playing France, Jonathan.
Now, if I remember correctly, they're quite a good team.
A considerable proposition, France.
Okay,
yeah.
Now, if we were to lose tomorrow, heaven forfend, but if we were, would we then be out of the Eurovision champion?
No, we wouldn't. No, we've got 2 more stabs at it.
Yeah,
because I understand it, and I'm not well up on the thing until it starts. But you're better going through first in the group because then you meet someone weaker in the next round. Is
supposedly,
that
actually, I'm going to have to stop it because as soon as you start talking about groups and rounds,
right.
I really do begin.
Yeah.
Well, we're not out if we lose tomorrow. No.
Okay. Well, let's hope we win for England.
Right. Yes. Okay. Well done. Very heartfelt.
Well, I think you can show your enthusiasm without getting too excited. It's nice. Let's have some more music. Now, Mark, of course, you're famous for your excellent musical taste. I mean, really, you guys, I think you were something of the barometer of Radio 1 there. You and John Peel, of course. You were the only guys I knew. Well, Joe Wiley actually.
Yeah, Joe,
stuff as well.
Yeah.
But okay, there's quite a lot of you. But certainly, I knew I was in safe hands.
Well, we always take care of picking. I always think that why play a duff record when you can play a good one,
Yeah, exactly. But so many people do.
Well, so many people who are doing radio shows are not bothered about what they play, are they really? And that always seems a shame to me.
I don't know whether that's the case or whether or not they feel they're bullied into sticking
Well, a bit
to
of both, I guess, really. A bit of both. But, I mean, some people don't get into it because they like music, do they? They get into it because they want to be famous or they want to be minor celebrities or whatever it is. There's different motivations, but it seems a shame to me.
Oh, he was waving at me when he said that.
Yeah.
I was not.
So what are you listening to at the moment, Mark?
I've been listening to The Sleepy Jackson is a great album. And also, have you heard that Loretta Lynn album produced by Jack White?
I have got it. I haven't really listened to it.
It's fantastic.
Great. I love that a lot. So I've been listening to that all the time.
Okay, but we're not going to play any of that.
No, I've got a track by... Do you like the track by Razorlight?
I only heard this for the first time this week, actually. I don't know it very well.
I haven't heard it yet. Is it good?
We played it before and you liked it.
Did we? I haven't heard it.
You have?
I must have gone to the toilet. Like last week when I went to the toilet and came back and ranted about D-Day, because I've missed most of it. That's great.
Yeah.
Very nice. Do you think there's sort of too much music out there at the moment, though, Mark? I can't keep up. There's just like hundreds of CDs every week.
Well, is there too much music? No, I would say.
I think there were too many notes floating around for a start.
You think so? Yeah.
Too many chords.
Right, you think more would have been used up by now?
Yeah, well, surely can't we just have a sort of amnesty and people who aren't any good should hand back their recording equipment?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of stuff. I think that, I don't know. I just like go on with boxes full and listen and listen and listen. Out of every 100, you find a couple you want to play.
Do you have a shed? Where do you go to listen?
Well, I listen a lot in my car, and I listen. In our kitchen, we've got a what do you call? Do you still call them ghetto blasters?
Yeah, I think you can call them ghetto blasters, even if you're not in a ghetto.
Yeah, right, yeah. And I lean over the knife drawer and keep putting them in there. I mean, I haven't got a sophisticated. Whenever you see these proper DJs, you see Paul Gambaccini, My Kind of Day or whatever it is.
Yeah.
he's always in sort of, a plush study with walls lined with shelves. And mine are all in little boxes and things, and I just sit there like putting them in the kitchen ghetto blaster.
But Paul Gambaccini, God love him, the big difference is he virtually has OCD, I think. He's like obsessive compulsive. I've been to his house, and it's immaculate. There's not a mote of dust that shouldn't be there, and everything is alphabetised and double bagged and put away and in order, and he knows where everything is. I don't know where anything is, do you?
No, well, I can find certain bits. I've got some in alphabetical order at work, I must say, but at home I can never find things. But my first day ever at Radio 1 when I was a producer, the first thing I ever did, we used to work on a Saturday doing a show called Saturday Live with Richard Skinner and Andy Baton Foster, and Paul Gambaccini was on before me, and I was quite in awe as a kind of young producer coming from the
Gambo,
wow, it's Gambo, the American Top 100 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And his producer, who was a nice fellow, probably better remain nameless, had gone, as he usually did at the weekends, on his boat, and he'd left all Gambo's records locked in a cupboard in his office. So my first job at Radio 1 was to jemmy open another producer's cupboards and get Gambo's records out.
How fantastic.
But Paul has been eternally grateful to me ever since.
Of course he is.
And
he's
a great bloke.
And a man who doesn't forget as well.
Well,
he's a lovely man.
He's a lovely guy, yeah.
How many children do you have, Mark?
3.
3 children?
3 daughters,
And it's someone's birthday today, is that
Well,
right?
technically it was, Rosie was 2 yesterday,
right.
and we're having a party tomorrow. Okay. So today, I've been filling sandpits and things. And
so you're getting ready for the big party?
Got to go and buy some charcoal and cheese slices.
And you can't put that in the sandpit, can you?
No. That wasn't the intention.
Interesting experience. And how old are the other 2?
Well, Mia is 5, and Holly's doing GCSE. She's 16.
16?
There was a gap there. There was a change of domestic arrangements somewhere in the middle there.
Just a bit of a hiccup, but now it's all back on track. And when the eldest went into her sort of teenage years, how was that for you? How did that occur? How was it as an experience as a father?
Well, it's had its moments, Have you got? How old are your? How's your?
Well, I'm asking because mine is 13 this year.
Right. Okay. Brace yourself.
Okay. Yeah. Already she's kind of growing and she's changing. She's becoming a young woman.
She's buckled down to do these exams, I'm glad to say. We've had her on revision boot camp, and it seems to be working. But they have the moments, don't they? But I mean,
Did you mark the passage from childhood to womanhood in any way for her?
No.
We're in a Jewish neighbourhood, and they all have a bat mitzvah for the girls, which is the 13th, and it's a big deal. It's a big deal. But you can have a faux mitzvah, which we're going to do, which is a kind of like non-Jewish passive. We're going the pagan route.
Right.
Jane's been looking into it. We've drawn the line at the menstrual tent.
Right, yes.
There's a pagan ritual where you can have the menstrual tent in the garden.
Right, what's this? They come around to your house with a stone circle and a rolling tree
There's a tent with red curtains.
Yes.
And the older women folk wait inside, and the father passes over the daughter, and she goes into the menstrual tent.
Yes.
They talk about women's things. They come out again, she's a woman.
Right, okay. Well, no, we didn't do that.
Yeah.
No.
Do you now think you've missed out on the opportunity?
I mean, is it do you get this in Yellow Pages? What's it under? Paganism and the Yellow Pages?
You can get any old tent, as long as you put a bit of red curtain on the outside, and that's it. You're good to go.
Right, well, I'll bear that in mind next time.
What I'll do is I'll make a little list for you, and when the other 2 get that age, if you fancy it,
all right, yeah.
I don't want to apply peer pressure.
No, that's all right. That's
but it might be quite a nice thing, though, because it would mark that passage, because I'm assuming the difficulty is you're still thinking of them as little kids.
Well, you do that definitely, don't you? Really, and you have to kind of work out a different approach to them. So certainly that's going on. Yeah.
It must be horrible that when they've got their exams and you're kind of willing them to do well, and
you feel like you're doing them yourself a bit, really. And also it's like frightening. You probably haven't, but if you look at a GCSE maths paper, I mean, who knows what that's about?
Even when I was doing maths at school, I didn't really understand
You
them.
just struggle with it. But now it's like it is a foreign language entirely. And
but aren't they allowed to take computers in now and and maths teachers in with them and stuff like that? Hasn't it all got a bit easier?
You should be able to take in someone who can do it, shouldn't it? Because all of life is about who you know and network. I mean, look at us. We've got where we are because who we know, not on latent talent, obviously.
Well, you have a point, obviously.
And so you should take in someone who who can do it.
And even now, if we want to know something math-based, we'll phone Heinz Wolf or someone, won't we?
Exactly.
There's a network here at the BBC.
There's someone who you can turn to.
But it's okay though. It's a kind of good experience for you.
Yeah, what? Yes. Well, not GCSEs particularly.
Children growing up and stuff.
Of course it is. Yeah, no, it's great, isn't it?
But it's nice that you've got the young ones as well, because you've got the best of both worlds.
Absolutely. But although sometimes, if you go on holiday and you kind of, a year ago and you've kind of got teenagers and their inherent problems.
Yeah.
And then, toddlers wanting to do activities all day and babies waking up early in the morning. It's a difficult combination at times.
You must be exhausted. But you're coping admirably.
Oh no, they're great. They are. They're great.
Let's have some more music and we'll chat some more off this. Where are we doing? We've got plenty of time. Right?
Should we go for the Ray Charles now?
Well, I don't know. Do you think we should? Did you ever get to see Ray Charles live?
I never got to see Ray Charles live, and so I don't have a helpful anecdote that would smooth this into your programme.
I tell you what, let's leave it for now, and we'll come back off the news, and we'll invent
An anecdote
where Mark went to see him live and it was just inspirational. Maybe it was an accident. You thought you were going to go and see someone else.
Okay.
There was a smoky bar. Someone you heard. I
want to hear about your band as well.
Well, we'll talk about this after the news. Let's save Ray Charles for that. I think we should make a slightly more of a thing.
All right, okay.
Ray Charles thing.
So you want to play the Morrissey track, don't you? So
yeah, this is great. Morrissey's new album is great. Are you a fan of Morrissey?
Yeah, I am a fan of Morrissey, and I think this is his best stuff for a while, really. And that new single's cracker, isn't it? So,
it's a great, but we're not going to play the new single, even though the new single is very good. I wanted to play a track off it that I've been listening to this week, which I think is just sounds so beautiful, and it's a lovely song. I think is it called "Come Back to Camden"?
Come Back to Camden. Yeah.
Another fella unwisely passed over in the birthday honours list today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Were you miffed about that?
No, I wasn't. No, I mean Mozza. I wasn't talking about myself.
I know. Well, you know. But,
no. You know, I'd only like to be asked, so I could make a big deal about turning it down.
All right.
No,
yes. But Hank Marvin turned one down this time, apparently.
Did he?
I mean, why would Hank Marvin turn?
Well, that takes a lot of the pride in the actual turning down out of it. I would have thought. God bless him. Maybe
the other two shadows. What was it? Brian Bennett and
Bruce Welch.
Bruce Welch.
Well done, the two of you.
They got one, and they offered Hank one as well, and he's turned his down. I don't know why.
Do you think it was, what was he peaked? You thought maybe he should have been offered it first?
No, Cliff got one first, didn't he? That's probably
Perhaps
why.
he's been riled since Sir Cliff became Sir Cliff all those years.
Does Hank still wear the huge grotesque glasses, or do you think he's been hit by the Specsavers revolution?
I don't think he's had the succumb to the laser. No, I think he's still got the big bins.
For many years, unfortunately, I wore Hank Marvin style glasses.
Did you?
Not as a homage or tribute, just they were the only pair I had. I like to think that's probably the main reason why I didn't lose my virginity until my early 20s.
Ah, possibly.
There may have been other reasons, but I'm focusing on that, and that's,
Are you
some
contact
solace.
lenses now, are you?
Oh, yeah, full on.
Laser me, mate.
You actually had the laser
I
then?
actually did.
And so how short-sighted were you?
No, it wasn't too bad, but I'd need, I could see you.
See,
I won't be able to see the Radio 2 poster behind you.
I'm a -9 in each eye.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether they perfected the operation for that sort of depth.
I don't think they can. You have to get one of those huge lasers which you can use to drill for iron ore to do that as well. And I think, there might be a horrible side effect.
Yes, no.
Were you not scared, though?
Probably. Well, yeah, obviously a little bit, yeah. And it was most disconcerting when they put this thing on your eye and you can smell burning.
Ah! 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 88 to 91 FM, this is Radio 2 from the BBC. It's sort of a strange song.
Sam Fletcher, sort of Northern Soul track.
Interesting.
I'd think it over.
Yeah, interesting. Mark Radcliffe is still with us. He's off in a minute, though. You can't hang around for that much longer, I guess, can you? Before we go, then, let's talk about your band. You have a band.
Well, I have a band. Well, you have a band too, don't you?
Sort of.
What's your band called?
The Fat Punks.
The Fat Punks. You're not fat.
Well, yeah, I'm plumper than I was.
Right.
But I'm on stage with Vic Reeves, and he's let himself go.
Oh, right. Well, Vic was a big prog rock fan as well, wasn't he?
He still is.
Because I love all that early Genesis. When Phil Collins was still on the drums, you see, that was great.
Frankly, I don't understand the appeal of that sort of thing.
No, well, there you go.
I'm punk through and through. We played our first gig last week. The Fat Punks played at the Dublin Castle Camden. What a marvellous, fantastic gig. It was like the Spirit of 76 revisited.
And you're the singer, are you?
Well, kind of by default. I wanted to be the bass player. No,
Nobody wants to be the bass player.
No, I did, because I
the
thought I
bass
could
player is the one who can't play guitar. I said, well, you better do bass then.
Yeah, but Mark, I get enough attention as it is. It's not like I'm needy. But I sang beautifully, it's got to be said.
What's Vic doing?
Vic is guitarist, very good.
He's a good guitarist, is he?
And on
he's
bass...
mates with Jeff Beck, isn't he?
He is mates with Jeff Beck, yeah, but let's not hold that against him. Right. And on bass and drums, we had Paul and Noel, formerly from punk band Menace.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, who was still knocking around. They got a new album out. I said I'd play him a track today, couldn't find the album this morning. I'll play that next week.
Oh, okay.
They've got a track about Oliver Reed I was going to play.
Oh, all right, yeah.
And we played 3 numbers.
Uh-huh.
We did Wires 1 2 XU.
Great.
We did a song we wrote that afternoon in 5 minutes called Punk Daddy.
All right, then, well, that's punk tradition. Throw
and
it together and get on there.
Finish with fantastic version of God Save the Queen.
Right, okay. Well, that's not a bad set.
Wasn't a dry eye in the house.
Right, I'll bet.
Captain Sensible, front row.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think he wandered in by mistake, but, once we saw him...
Is he still in the Damned? I think he probably
is.
Yes,
he is.
Yeah.
So, but we're not a proper band. We did it for a show I'm doing about punk.
Yeah.
We just thought we'd have fun. And I lost my voice for several days afterwards.
Right.
So obviously various people are hoping we'd do this more often.
Right.
But your band is a proper working unit.
Well, it is. The Family Mahone. It's like, it started off as a kind of, because we all love the Pogue songs.
Right.
And it's like, it's kind of banjos and accordions and fiddles and all that sort of stuff. A bit of diddly-diddly. The music that sounds great after, 3 pints of Guinness.
At least.
And we're playing, well, you probably know, because you're almost certainly doing your show next week from the Middlewich Folk and Boat Festival.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Of course we're going to be there.
I would have thought.
We have a Romany caravan we're broadcasting from.
This is the ongoing paganism thing. And and Friday night we're playing at Middlewich British Legion, and I just wondered whether that was the first time I mean, obviously, you've had Bowie on in there. He must have done Middlewich British Legion. Whether that's the first time someone has plugged a gig at Middlewich British Legion.
I think it is, because Bowie likes to keep it quiet. It's more of a warm-up night for him. He likes to take the temperature of the nation there.
And we're playing Croppedy as well with Jethro Tull.
Hold it, what's Croppedy?
Croppedy is a kind of, well, you should know it being up on your pagans.
I thought that was when they gave you... Croppedy's when they give you a massage,
well, they may well do. It's a Fairport Convention run folk festival near Banbury, and I've forgotten when it is, but anyway, it's sometime over the summer.
I can no longer tell whether you're making these things
I'm not making it up, it's
Croppedy
right.
does exist, yes.
It's right.
It's a sort of folky, real full...
You lead a life, don't you?
I do, yeah.
What a life you lead. Who books these dates for you?
I book them.
So you've no one else to blame then?
No.
I bet it's a great day out.
It is. No, well, that's... He said. Thinking,
in a couple of years' time, I must try and clear a space in the summer and get down there.
Cambridge Folk Festival. Neil Hannon, talk to Neil Hannon about it. He's doing Cambridge Folk Festival.
The folk music is back on top.
Well, yeah, people are sick of all the manufactured stuff, aren't they? And you go back to something with a bit of roots.
A bit of actual real live talent behind it.
I think there is a bit of that, you know.
We've got a picture here, we were sort of slightly dismissive about the football earlier, or certainly I was, and I'm very happy it's going on. I'm happy for people who enjoy that kind of thing, and I will do my bit to cheer on.
Yeah.
But here's something which has come out, which has got me actually genuinely excited about it. St George's Cross Jaffa Cakes.
Oh, really?
Look at that.
Yeah, nice.
Any excuse to have some more Jaffa Cakes. I still don't understand why they don't make a full-size, like 12-inch across Jaffa cake.
Like a sort of wagon wheel size.
Frisbee.
One.
No, bigger than that. Like an actual kind of a Victoria sponge size.
Right.
And you could do it in one sitting on your own.
Right, you might be onto something there. I mean, nobody does a big biscuit. You could have a digestive, like 3 feet across, couldn't you?
Mark, it's not a biscuit, it's a cake. It's a Jaffa cake.
I don't like them, you see.
It's not a biscuit, it's a cake.
I'm not big on Jaffa cakes. Orange was always my least favourite club.
Well, maybe they could do...
Fruit too. It was mine, yeah. Fruit Club was great.
See, cherries, chocolate, orange. Don't matter how Dawn French tries to sell them, still won't have it.
I tell you what I had the other day. I had 4 of in a row. Eccles cakes.
Eccles cakes. Dead fly cakes, as they're known colloquially.
Yeah, but you can't beat them, can you?
No, great. No,
I'm not a big fan of those. I like a Garibaldi.
Do you remember the Chelsea slice?
No.
It's no wonder you clean up with Sony Awards and that on this show, is it? With this level of conversation.
Essentially, as we know this year on the voting panel, it's maybe cake makers. And,
we tap into them.
And, that's what it is. So they sit there salivating. Or, give that a tick.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think Radio 2 has its duty to talk about biscuits.
Well, we spent half my first week on there, we spent talking about wheelie bins, you see, because before I did my first show and I came back from holiday, I'd been sent a letter by the council saying I'd qualified after my refuse audit for a bigger wheelie bin, and I just took this as an omen that I was going on to great things.
Bigger and better things.
Well, or more rubbish.
And here you are on Radio 2. Is the wheelie bin yours now, though? Do you have it?
Yeah, it is. And this is a good thing. I've not given the other one back.
I think that shows you in a poor light.
Well, I'm prepared to live with it.
There's probably a family somewhere still having to lug out just black bags and leave them outside for the foxes to tear in.
Do you think so?
Yeah, you've got someone else's
you've pricked
bin
my
there.
conscience now. I might think about that, but not until after this weekend when we've got rid of all the rubbish from
I don't
the
want to
party.
show off, but I'm a 3-wheelie man.
Well, I am too, but that's with me.
No, you're not.
I am.
You just said you had 2.
I've got 2 green ones, but I've got a recyclable one as well.
That doesn't count.
And a box and a
I
bag
didn't
for
even
the
count my
papers.
recycle boxes.
Well,
I don't even count them. I've got loads of them.
I've got 5 units in which to put rubbish.
I've got so many recycle boxes, I recycled one.
Well, there
Put it in another bin, got rid of it.
Recyclable trumps
Didn't
and
need
biscuits all in one link. It's sheer quality, isn't it?
Mark Radcliffe is to be found on Radio 2 every evening now, starting on Monday 7th of June. This is every evening until midnight, isn't it? 10:30 to midnight?
10:30 to midnight, Monday to Thursday. Okay. So I'll tell you what we've got on next week.
It's Monday to Thursday, you don't do Friday?
Don't do Fridays, which is great, isn't it? Finish work midnight Thursday
That's
till
pretty
sort of
good,
tea
isn't
time
it?
on Monday.
You've got that sorted.
That's all right, isn't it?
Okay, who's on next week?
Ross Noble on Monday.
Fantastic.
And the Charlatans are playing on there. And Wayne Hemingway, the designer, and also our new television critic on Thursday, Noddy Holder.
Noddy Holder,
Sir
talking
Nodwood
about
of
TV.
Holder. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to definitely tune in for that one. I'll tune in for the others. It's not a bad guest list, I suppose, if you like that sort of thing.
That's right.
But Thursday night...
Yeah, Noddy Holder.
Matter of fact, I might even take that.
You've had him on, Noddy, haven't you?
Of course we have. Do you give him... there's a museum somewhere near where he lives somewhere where they've got him to do the voice in the lift.
Oh, really?
So
I think it's in Leeds. I think it's Leeds.
Not here. I can't do the voice, obviously.
I can't. No one can do Noddy Holder's voice except Nod.
Well, Vic Reeves does a pretty good noddy holder.
Does it? That was great though. And Vic and Bob did Slade, wasn't it? Camping and all that, and cutting the hair around Fray Bentos.
But I think giving him a new lease of life is marvellous, because let's face it, he hasn't really got a lot going on him, was he?
Oh well, he just sits and waits for his royalty checks to drop through the door. I don't think he's worried about it.
Sits at home and he's mentioned counting his wheelie bins.
Yeah, he lives a Parway. Great bloke, noddy old. He is. He's a top bloke.
The good thing about wheelie bins is if ever you wanted to get rid of someone, you could just put them. You wouldn't have to do anything with the body. Just bung them straight in the bin.
That's me. You could put several in the size of my new bin.
He's trumped me. Mark, have a lovely weekend. Good luck with the party tomorrow.
Yeah, no, thanks. Nice to see you.
I'm sure it'll be great. Safe flight back home.
Yep, thank you
and
very much.
Good luck. The show, as we said, is Monday to Thursday, Radio 2, 10:30 to 12. I don't think it can be bettered.
All right. Very kind of you. Thanks for having me on.